What's up guys, JT Anime Nerd here to bring you all that nerdy goodness. Today we continue my concept for a Spyro the Dragon TV series with episode 2. If you guys haven't seen episode 1, I recommend you watch it before proceeding to this video. I also want to let you know that for this episode's introduction of Toasty, I'd have him be voiced by Wayne Knight, kind of as a nod to when he played Jack-O-Lantern in The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Also for this character, I just really picture him voicing Toasty. So with all that out of the way, let's get into episode 2, titled, Anyone Feeling Toasty? The episode begins on a bright sunny day in the courtyard in front of Artisan Castle. Flame is chasing a sheep in fun while Ember and Sparx watch with a smile on their face. Meanwhile, Spyro is slightly freaking out, seeming almost paranoid, no doubt pertaining to what he did to the spirit gem in the treasury vault.
Spyro, you really need to relax. No one knows you went into the treasury.
Not yet anyway, only a matter of time. After that, it's a lifetime of disgusting gruel to eat and limited bathroom privacy in the slammer. Oh wait, I'm thinking of high school.
I just can't relax. I'm on edge. If the Dragon Elders find out that I broke their only spirit gem, I'm history. Speaking of which, didn't you say that some kind of magic or energy entered your body after you broke the gem?
Yeah, something about a power of a thousand suns? And making a mint on ice cream. Oh wait, that was this morning.
Yeah, it was weird. I'm pretty sure it's the reason for my flight and my fire breath. Maybe you just need to take your mind off those things for a while.
Suddenly, a lone sheep hops up just many inches away from Spyro and company. I know what to get your mind off it, Spyro. A radical game of sheep ball.
Wouldn't hurt, Spyro.
Spyro thinks for a moment, but then gives in.
No, alright. Winner gets lamb chops!
Swiftly, Spyro and Flame begin chasing around the sheep, which all run around in fear of the two dragons. Just then, Flame notices a lone sheep staring at him with seemingly hateful intent.
Oh-ho! You giving me the stink eye, sheep?
The mysterious sheep then suddenly growls and shows a set of fangs, his eyes colored red with anger.
Well, you're about to get flamed!
The sheep then runs away in fear as Flame chases him. After a lengthy chase, and as Flame gets closer and closer, Flame shows an expression of satisfaction.
I'm having lamb chops tonight!
After Spyro shoots fire at a sheep's butt, Spyro looks back at Flame and then shows an expression of concern.
Flame, look out in front of you!
Flame then releases his fire breath as he continues flying forward at incredible speed. The sheep then dodges the flames to the left, leading the fire to hit the wall ahead of him. Flame then shows an expression of concern as he looks forward at the oncoming wall.
Uh-oh!
Flame hits the wall, the last of his fire breath redirected back into his mouth, inflating his body like a balloon in a cartoonish fashion. Flame then opens his mouth, releasing a huge stream of smoke, causing him to fly around the courtyard like a deflating balloon. Spyro, Ember, and Sparx look on as Flames continues flying around, showing concerned expressions on their face, while Sparx shows a blank one. 5 gems, he ends up in space.
You're on!
Ember then gives a stern look at Spyro and Sparx, who both then show exaggerated smiling expressions, signifying their guilt.
What?
After the last of the smoke is released, Flame begins screaming as he falls downward, eventually hitting the ground. Spyro, Ember, and Sparx run over and look down at a downed Flame.
Flame, are you okay?
The camera pans out to reveal Flame in an exaggerated, mangled state.
Prepare to get flamed.
Flame then lets out a puff of smoke from his mouth, catching his attention as the action seems to have snapped him back to reality. After regaining his footing, Flame then blows out in order to release his fire breath, but all that seems to come out of his mouth is air and faint smoke. Flame's expression becomes one of great distress. I can't breathe fire. I can't make flame. I can't flame anything. Ah! Moments later, Spyro and friends are with Flame in Lindar's workshop, with Lindar himself checking in Flame's mouth with a flashlight.
So, explain why we came to Lindar instead of looking for a doctor?
Lindar is the closest thing we have to a doctor. Ironically, the doctors are all recovering. Something about a disagreement? Yeah, and the fact that the disagreement turned out to be a fistfight over the winner of the Miss Dragoness pageant, which ironically only the doctors attended in case a riot actually broke out. Funny world.
That's what that was? And I missed it! I mean, yeah. I'll never get what all that attraction stuff is.
Ember quietly grunts at the sound of Spyro's words. Lindar then closes Flame's mouth and begins writing something down on a notebook.
Can we get back on track, dudes? Give it to me straight, Lindar. Will I ever flame again?
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, Flame. You've damaged your cauldron gland.
What's a cauldron gland?
Lindar then pulls out a diagram of dragon physiology, depicting the inner workings of a dragon's body.
The cauldron gland is the source of all dragon fire generation.
Spyro and friends then stare at Lindar in confusion. In idiot terms?
Right. To put it simply, the cauldron gland allows dragons to produce methane from their bodies, a gas that ignites from the combined heat the cauldron gland produces as well. It's like a balloon, only if there's a hole in it, the heat is released from the cauldron gland. Basically, you're going to have to take time to heal before you can ever breathe fire again.
But how long's that gonna take?
Who knows? Could take days, weeks, months, maybe even years. The dragon's regenerative abilities are one of the most unpredictable pieces of our anatomy. Only time will tell. Sorry, Flame.
Flame looks down in defeat, saddened by the news he's just heard. Spyro and friends exit Lindar's workshop, Flame feeling the most down.
Oh, cheer up, Flame. You heard what he said. It's at least temporary. Yeah, I'm sure your fire will be back before you know it.
Yeah, maybe.
What am I supposed to do till then? I'm Flame, not lame. Make no mistake, pal. We're gonna find some things you can do, even without your fire. I promise.
Anyone feel like barbecue right now? Spyro and friends glare at Sparx with expressions of annoyance. What? Before we continue the video, I'd just like to take a moment to tell you guys about my upcoming original project, Pendragon Knights of the Round, an audio novelization of a comic book concept that I've been world building for years. It's also the first story in what I call the Excaliverse, a universe where characters from mythology, fairy tales, and classic horror all exist together as superheroes and supervillains. If you enjoy fantasy and superhero stories and world building, then I encourage you to check out our promo and lore videos we've done so far in preparation for the first issue of Pendragon. The links to the videos will be in the description down below, and issue 1 of Pendragon Knights of the Round will be posted next week. With that out of the way, let's get back to the video. A montage begins as Spyro, Ember, and Sparx do their best to help Flame find things to do not involving fire or things he doesn't have to specifically use his fire to do. The first thing they do is spend time at the Artisan Fair, playing games and rides. Well, in-game Spyro and friends decide to play is called Fireball, a game where dragons shoot their fireballs at targets. The sight of the game brings Flame down, but Sparx comes up with an idea, grabbing some paper and straws, deciding to shoot a spitball at the target. Now realizing the alternate way of playing the game, Spyro and Ember ready their straws and chew up paper for spitballs, only to then incinerate their spitballs and straws with their fire by accident. In response, Flame's curious expression turns to one of sadness, prompting Spyro and friends to leave with Flame. Moments later, Spyro, Ember, and Sparx try to spark a barbecue with rocks by rubbing them together, but Sparx begins to have some trouble. As some smoke leaks out from Sparx's rubbing stones, the smoke makes its way to Spyro's nose, causing him to sneeze and breathe fire on the barbecue. This accident causes Flame to continue his depressive state, making Spyro smile in nervousness as Ember and Sparx look at him with expressions of annoyance. More moments later, Spyro and friends are playing sheep ball at the courtyard of Artisan Castle. As Spyro and Ember are having fun chasing and shooting fire at sheep, they both look back and see that Flame is just lying down depressed as Sparx looks down at him in disappointment. The sheep is kicking dirt on Flame, burying him in dirt. The sheep then walks away. Oh, right. This is what caused the problem. Heh. Feels good not to be the idiot for once. Meanwhile, the angry sheep from earlier looks on in seething rage at Spyro and friends as it walks backwards behind a wall. Moments later, in an unknown cave, the sound of scraping metal can be heard as a tall figure in a large hat seems to be sharpening what looks like a scythe. A lone sheep then approaches the tall figure, leading the figure to pet the sheep lovingly.
Oh, don't you worry, my furry little friend. Today is the day those dragons finally get what's coming to them. Today is a day of retribution.
Back in the Artisan Kingdom, Spyro, Ember, and Sparx are looking for Flame, who's seemingly missing.
Flame! Flame! Come on, Flame. The sooner this is over, the sooner Spyro can pay me his 5 gems. You lost that bet and you know it.
Ember then looks around, only to see Flame lying on top of a large dragon head statue, a monument of sorts.
Guys, I found him!
Spyro and friends fly up the dragon head statue, seeing Flame lying down in sadness.
Flame, what are you doing here?
I just wanted to be alone.
We're sorry, pal. We were just trying to cheer you up.
I know. But every moment only reminded me that I may never get my fire back.
It's not the end of the world, Flame.
That is, unless the world ends by fire.
Sparx!
What?
You guys just don't understand. I'm Flame. It's not just my color. It's what makes me special. I'm a red dragon. A fire dragon. Just like my parents.
Flame then lies down in slight sorrow.
It's all I have left of them.
That and this statue.
That's right. The statue was made in honor of the dragons that fell during the Nork Wars. I know how you feel, Flame. I lost my parents too.
No, you don't. You still have your grandmother. I was taken in by Lindar when I was hatched. It was always the most hollow year of the dragon to me. But my flame, what they left me, it always kept me strong. If I'm not a fire dragon, then what am I? Spyro and friends look at Flame in concern, wanting nothing more than to make Flame happy. Spyro then approaches Flame.
You know, I never really understood myself. I was raised in a swamp and felt like an outsider when I first stepped into the Artisan Kingdom. Because I was just seen as some little purple dragon with no family to speak of. But then you walked up to me, and do you remember what you said to me?
Yeah?
You said, "Hey dude, you knew?" You never asked about me being a purple dragon. You were the first to see me for me. You knew there was more to me than just being a purple dragon. Just like there's more to you than just having fire come out of your mouth. Want to know who you are? You're Flame, the coolest dragon in the Artisan Kingdom. Alongside Ember, of course. Good save. It's not the flames you breathe that make you who you are. It's the flame of your spirit. That's the part of you I've always admired. And I also bet it's the real reason your parents gave you the name Flame.
After thinking for a moment, Flame decides to stand up, a smile etched across his face. How did I ever end up with friends like you? Well, get used to it.
Because you're never getting rid of us that easily. We're together to the end.
Flame then looks up, his expression turning from one of happiness to distress. Look out! Before we continue the video, I'd just like to remind you guys to like, share, Hulk smash that subscribe button, and click on that notification bell to stay updated on the latest videos. Also, don't forget to check out our merch store, Buy Me a Coffee page so you can donate to the channel, and our Amazon affiliate link down in the description and pinned comment below. Also, you can help us expand the channel, its content, and its quality. With all that out of the way, let's get back to the video. Spyro and friends disperse off the statue as a giant fireball launches down at where they were standing. After regrouping on the ground, they then notice the sound of laughter. The large figure in the large hat walks through the entranceway to the statue.
All together, I see. I was hoping to pick you one by one, but I'll have to settle for all at once.
The tall figure, now revealed to have a pumpkin for a head, shoots flames from its pumpkin face, leading Spyro and friends to dodge it.
Who are you?
You're doomed!
The figure then shoots another flame at Spyro, to which Spyro dodges.
Dude, what's your issue? We don't even know you.
Oh, trust me, you know who I am. You just don't exactly know who yet. But it doesn't matter. I'm going to fry you dragons up on a platter!
The figure then unleashes a stream of flames at the group, who do their best to dodge it. Spyro then decides to try and charge at the figure, only to be quickly countered by the figure's scythe.
Oh, you'll have to do better than that, dragon!
After pushing Spyro back, the figure unleashes a fire blast, hitting Spyro, who has only sustained minor damage due to his scales.
Whoa, that was a close one.
So, it seems flames don't have much effect. Good to know I can finish up close and personal.
What's your deal? Who even are you?
I am many. I am revenge. I am Toasty!
Toasty unleashes a huge breath of fire, leading to the group to try and dodge it again, with almost little result.
He sure is Toasty.
Perhaps the flames are getting a bit old. Let's kick it up a notch.
Toasty then poses with his scythe, ready for an up-close battle.
Bring it on!
Spyro and Ember charge forth while Flame stays back, doubtful of what he can do without his fire breath. With incredible synchronization, and Spyro and Ember try to use in close combat on Toasty, who seemingly is able to overpower both of them, knocking them both to the ground.
Guys!
Without hesitation, Flame decides to charge at Toasty, who then knocks Flame down with the back of his scythe. Spyro then takes that chance to breathe fire at Toasty, catching him aflame.
Oh shoot! No! What have you done?
Toasty's outfit then begins to disintegrate, revealing that his legs are just stilts. As the cloak disintegrates to the last fabric, Spyro and friends are shocked to see that Toasty's true identity is the angry sheep from before, the wooden arms and flamethrowers strapped around him.
What? No way! A sheep?
Well, I've seen everything, except a dragon farting fire, which I'd love to see.
Wait a minute. You can talk?
Oh, I can do more than just talk.
The creepy sheep then shows off, using his elongated wooden arms to pick up his scythe and take a battle stance, shooting flamethrowers in order to show intimidation.
For years I've watched as you dragons have cold-heartedly devoured my brethren. My hatred for you grew so much that my intelligence grew to exponential levels, even to the point where I learned your language. And now, with my new weapons, I'll be taking lamb chops off the menu and replacing it with dragon chops!
As Spyro and Ember charge forward at him, Toasty releases a new form of weapon from his flamethrowers in the form of a pair of sheep fluff balls that explode on contact with Spyro and Ember, taking advantage of their confused state at first sight of the fluff balls. Spyro and Ember then fall down in slight defeat.
How did my fluff bombs feel?
Toasty then sniffs the air.
Ah, medium rare. Just how I like my dragon.
Flame looks in horror as Toasty inches closer and closer to his friends, raising his scythe in the air to signify his final attack.
Very soon, I'll have your horns mounted on my wall!
Just then, Flame decides to charge at Toasty, who's pushed back after being caught off guard.
Back off, bro! Ain't no one messing with my friends.
Ah, the one who lost his fire. I was gonna give you a bit of a head start because I felt sorry for you, but it looks like you'll have to be the first one on the menu.
You're actually gonna eat us?
Why not? You've been eating sheep and lamb for years against our will. The time has come to enter to the top of the food chain. In fact, I'll introduce you to a bit of irony.
There's a lot of that going around.
As I was saying, I'll introduce you to a bit of irony and obliterate you in flames. Ah, ha, 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 ha.
Toasty then shoots a stream of flames at Flame, leading Flame to act as a shield for his friends, as they'd get caught in the blast if he tried to dodge it.
Oh no! Flame!
Ha ha ha! And you thought you'd flame me? Well, guess what? You just got toasted! Ha ha ha!
Suddenly, a glowing pair of red eyes illuminate through the smoke, followed by a fireball being unleashed from behind the smoke, hitting Toasty.
What the what?
Toasty then looks in shock as Flame appears to be okay, much to everyone's delight, minus Toasty.
You're okay!
But how? That's impossible!
Don't know. I guess I realized that to make a flame, you gotta light the spark. And there ain't anyone who can light my spark more than my friends.
Enraged, Toasty stood up, ready for round 2.
It matters not! This is the end for you, dragon!
Toasty then switches his flamethrowers to face behind him, turning them into a jetpack, followed by jetting toward Flame with his scythe raised.
You're about to get flamed, sheep creep! What? Wait, what the?
Just then, Flame unleashed his most powerful fire breath ever, causing Toasty to get blasted far away into the sky.
My name's not sheep creep!
A gleam sparkles in the sky, signifying Toasty's ascent.
It should be, though. You're one creepy sheep.
Moments later in Lindar's workshop, Lindar is looking in Flame's mouth with a flashlight and makes a remarkable discovery.
Why, Flame, your cauldron gland has fully regenerated.
But we don't understand.
Yeah, didn't you say that regeneration stuff was unpredictable?
It used to be, at least when regenerating ordinarily, and until this point. But there have been theories that fire dragons can absorb the energy from heat and fire in order to enhance their overall abilities.
The flames that sheep creep shot. It must have made the process go faster. No way! I've got a superpower!
All dragons possess an inner power within themselves, even if it's not able to be seen. And who knows, perhaps the rest of you possess a power you've yet to understand.
Well, all I know is that I just wouldn't have been able to figure it out without my best friends. Thanks for believing in me, guys. Always, dude.
The 3 dragons place their claws on top of each other, signifying their friendship.
Dragon pals for life!
Oh, what am I, chopped liver? Forget it. Meanwhile, in the deep forest, Toasty is attempting to put his wooden arms back together, with slight success after he's able to piece them back together.
Perfect!
Suddenly, the wooden arms then fall apart and poof into ash before his eyes.
Oh, come on! How am I supposed to get all the way back to my lab to plot if I'm walking on these stubby legs? I'm going to make those dragons pay, especially that red one.
A voice then calls out,
If you're looking for a way to nab and execute some dragons, then I might be of some assistance.
The voice then reveals itself to be Blowhard, former court wizard of Nasty Nork.
Looks like my luck's about to change. You didn't hear that.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of my concept for the Spyro the Dragon TV series. Expect more episodes to be written as the channel continues. However, this channel needs your support if it's going to get off the ground. After all, there's a chance we can animate these videos. I'd really love to get someone to try. But we can't do it without your support, and of course it's going to take time. So don't forget to check the links below involving our merch store, Buy Me a Coffee page so you can donate a minimum of $5 to the channel, and our Amazon affiliate link down in the description and pinned comment below. With all that said and done, I'm JT Anime, and I'll check you guys later.